Seafood market vendor caught cheating by customer. Wealthy woman threatens police, reveals grandfather's military background. Country garden project stalls again. Malaysian workers demand wages. Buy one get one free on Chinese apartments. Prices in Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai dropped to 100,000 yuan. On July 31st, in Nanning, Guangxi, a man noticed something was off while buying shrimp at a farmer's market. After the shrimp were weighed, he saw there was too much water in the bag. He asked the seller to show him the draining basket, repeatedly saying, "Bring your basket over here. I want to see if it can drain the water properly." The seller became nervous and tried to change the subject. The man persisted, suspecting something was wrong. And then the seller, realizing she was about to be caught, tried to add more shrimp to the bag to calm him down. However, the man responded, "I don't need you to add more shrimp, just bring me the basket." At this point, the seller tried to snatch the bag from him, saying, "Don't mess with my stuff. This isn't your house." When the man finally got the draining basket, he discovered there was a layer of plastic inside a double-layered basket. The man explains, "This is a double-layered basket, and the inside layer is made of fabric. Look, the water doesn't drain at all. It looks like a mesh basket, but it's not. They're using this basket to cheat, saying it drains water, but it doesn't drain a drop. Look closely, the water doesn't leak at all. The boss said it was to drain water, but none was drained. All the water stayed in the bag." Throughout the incident, the seller repeatedly tried to take the draining basket away, but the man avoided her attempts. Finally, he angrily shouted at the seller, "Is this how you scam people?" To resolve the situation, the seller stomped on the draining basket at the man's request. However, since it was double-layered with plastic inside, it didn't break. The seller ended up tearing it apart and refunded the man's money. Buying seafood in China can be tricky, especially at seafood markets. Several years ago, a man discovered that the draining baskets used in seafood markets were tampered with to prevent water from draining, deceiving unsuspecting customers. Some unscrupulous vendors even pre-fill plastic bags with water, knowing most consumers won't check, thus overcharging them unknowingly. In June, a video vlogger visited a seafood plaza to explain common tricks used by vendors. In the video, he explained, "There might be 10 crabs in here, but 5 could be dead and 5 alive. When showing you, the seller will pick the live ones, but when packing, they'll sneak in the dead ones. Some even place a block of ice inside." Later in the video, the vlogger said, "They'll ask you where you want the seafood processed and offer to send it there. Why do they do that? Because their scale is inaccurate, and they worry the processor might notice. When delivering the seafood, they'll tell the kitchen it's 1.2 kilograms when it's actually half of that. If the bag contains dead or old seafood, they'll instruct the staff to cook it in a way that hides it. Once it's in the kitchen, there's no way to prove what you bought. You'll never know the true weight or freshness of the seafood because it's already cooked, and you can't complain." To avoid being scammed, people have come up with various tricks. For example, a woman brought her own shrimp to the seafood market. To prevent being charged for water weight, she employed a clever technique that stunned the seller. Buying seafood is an art, especially in China, where you have to be extra vigilant. Recently, a female internet celebrity caused a scene in a hotel lobby while live streaming. She shouted at the police, claiming her grandfather is a Korean War veteran, and her cousin is the director of the city's Market Supervision Bureau. A viral video shows that on July 28th, in a hot spring hotel lobby in Chengdu, a female internet celebrity who claimed to have 500,000 followers got into a confrontation with several men while live streaming. She hit multiple people. She claimed that they had cheated her out of money and that she was there to expose them. The video shows 2 police officers arriving to take her to a police car. However, she grabbed a riot shield, continued to hit people, and shouted, "My grandfather is a veteran of the Korean War, with a first-class merit still recognized back home. If anyone dares to touch me, I'll call my grandfather to protect my family." Later, after arguing with the police, she declared, "My cousin is the director of the Chengdu Market Supervision Bureau, and my uncle works for the Chengdu Police Department. I even passed the civil service exam in Guangxi on my own merit." The 2 police officers then left her and walked out of the hotel. Following the incident, the Chengdu City Discipline Inspection Commission and the Propaganda Department both responded with no comment. The Public Security Bureau stated they would verify the information, and the city's Market Supervision Bureau said they were not paying attention to the matter for now and would release information on the official platform if there are updates. However, since the incident, there's been no official follow-up. In China, the behavior of public officials is often criticized. Just 2 months ago, a similar incident occurred. On May 12th, on Changrong Street in Chengdu, a young man was accused by an elderly woman of scratching her SUV when he touched it. She demanded 10,000 yuan in compensation. When the young man denied it, the elderly woman slapped him in public, claiming her son was the mayor. This incident quickly sparked public outrage. People gathered around the SUV, demanding justice for the young man who had just been slapped. A young man even climbed onto the SUV's roof in protest, and the crowd cheered. Videos show the elderly woman getting out of the SUV, surrounded and criticized by a large group of people. Later, a large number of police and special forces were dispatched to the scene to protect the SUV. Video footage shows the young man who had been slapped and another man being forcibly taken away by the police. Meanwhile, the crowd shouted, "Release them!" Footage of the incident involving the elderly woman in Chengdu was quickly censored on Chinese social media, with officials stepping in to deny the incident. However, many netizens commented that the more the authorities tried to cover it up, the more suspicious it seemed, suggesting that the woman's background might be significant. They noted that it's rare that so many police show up to protect private property. Some commentators believed that, regardless of whether the woman's son is actually the mayor, the incident reflects growing public dissatisfaction with the privileged class in China. Recently, a group of workers in Malaysia protested against Chinese real estate developer Country Garden. They demanded their wages and held banners with messages in both Chinese and English. This incident has led to speculation that this is another abandoned project by City Garden. Since successfully entering the Malaysian market in December 2011, the company has had multiple projects left unfinished. Country Garden is a comprehensive enterprise group primarily focused on real estate, including construction, decoration, and property management. It is known as one of the top 10 real estate companies in China. Facing poor sales, the Chinese real estate company Vanke recently launched a buy one get one free promotion at a property development in Dongguan, Guangdong. The promotion runs from July 12th to 28th. According to sales staff, this promotion applies only to large apartments of 140 square meters or more at Vanke's Bay Seaview Apartments in Huizhou. The average selling price for these large units is around 35,000 yuan per square meter, while the smaller units are priced at 26,000 yuan per square meter. The bonus property, located at Shuangyue Bay, is approximately 40 square meters and valued at over 200,000 yuan. Buyers must pay for the property and complete the purchase agreement within the promotional period. Experts suggest that with the overall market outlook being pessimistic, real estate companies face significant pressure to clear inventory. Various promotional tactics, such as discounted properties, home appliance giveaways, free property management fees, and free parking spaces, are becoming common. Vanke's project is just one example among many. Reports indicate that even in affluent regions like Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, property prices have plummeted to cabbage prices. Journalists have found second-hand homes in Zhenjiang, Jiangsu, selling for approximately $14,000. In May, Lin Yangliu purchased a 65 square meter unfinished second-hand apartment in Zhenjiang for 160,000 yuan, with a down payment of 100,000 yuan and a monthly mortgage payment of just over 800 yuan for 20 years. Local real estate agent Wang Huaijie noted that homes with an average price of around 4,000 to 5,000 yuan per square meter are plentiful in the area, making the prices there extremely low. As China's real estate market continues to decline, more small and medium-sized cities are seeing their housing prices drop to rock-bottom levels. In the Xiaohuayuan district of Zhangjiakou, just over 100 kilometers from Beijing's Haidian district, you can buy a 60 square meter, two-bedroom apartment for 60,000 yuan, or 78 square meter, two-bedroom apartment for 80,000 yuan. Real estate agents even say these prices are negotiable. In Longquan, Chengdu, Sunshine City has numerous apartments priced at 200,000 yuan or even as low as 100,000 yuan. In Guangdong, China's most affluent province, 5 smaller cities are offering similarly low-priced properties. Just over 90 kilometers from Guangzhou, properties priced at 2,000 to 3,000 yuan per square meter are common. According to media reports, social media, and housing market data, at least 95 cities in 25 provinces or municipalities in China are experiencing fire sales in the real estate market. Meanwhile, despite more than 10 rounds of measures to stimulate the market, Nanjing has not been able to stop the continuous decline in the real estate market and property prices. Data from the China Index Academy shows that in June 2024, the average price of second-hand residential properties in the 10 major cities fell by 6.2% year-on-year. Wuhan saw the largest year-on-year decline at 10.1%, followed by Nanjing and Chongqing's main urban area, where prices dropped by 9.4% and 8.2%, respectively. I'm a 32-year-old who, after a breakup, decided abruptly to resign and come to Australia alone to study abroad. I made this life-changing decision in just one day. Reflecting on 4 years ago, after more than 8 years in Canada, I had naively believed that I could build a new life for myself in China through my own efforts. However, reality proved my aspirations too idealistic. Back in China for 4 years, I faced numerous setbacks: a breakup after a 7-year relationship, career struggles, and parental pressure to marry. As an adult, I felt like I was on the brink of collapse. Nights were filled with anxiety, fear, and insomnia, often doubting myself and questioning life's meaning daily. My parents and relatives insisted that, at my age, I should secure a stable job, get married, and start a family. But deep down, I knew this wasn't the life I wanted. Perhaps taking a break was necessary for me to move forward. For older women, studying abroad is an adventure in life. Many choose to leave their homeland and study in a foreign country with a radically different cultural background, perhaps due to age discrimination, gender discrimination in the workplace in China, and pressure from parents to marry. In China, they strive every day but cannot see the future they desire. Studying abroad may offer better job opportunities and a better future. The current environment for living and working in China is different from before, prompting many to contemplate where their lives are heading. Japan, as a unique and charming country, attracts countless older women to study abroad. Through her studies in Japan, Cece has gained a comprehensive understanding and experience of Japanese culture. For many, studying abroad is a vital pathway to advancing their careers. Perhaps in their minds, a mundane life was never what they desired, which is why they chose to journey to every corner of the world. On the Chinese social media platform Xiaohongshu, older age studying abroad is a hot topic, with over 56 million reads for related tags. Especially, many Chinese women around the age of 30 or older choose to study abroad. The popularity of this topic skyrocketed after the lockdown in Shanghai and has continued unabated ever since. On June 24th, Claudia Ke, a 35-year-old woman from Shanghai, was interviewed by the South China Morning Post. She is among many Chinese women in their 30s who have decided to pursue graduate studies abroad. Since August 2023, Claudia spent 5 months in Burgundy, a wine-producing region in France. Previously, she worked at Vogue Beijing and later at Lane Crawford in Shanghai before attempting to establish her own consulting firm. In early April 2022, Claudia experienced over 2 months of lockdown in her Shanghai community, which she described as a hellish experience. During this time, the societal and political atmosphere became tense and suffocating. Living alone, she faced situations where food was scarce, often unsure of where her next meal would come from. She had to meticulously calculate and plan her food consumption every day. She couldn't help but wonder how elderly people managed to obtain enough food through mobile phones. However, for those elderly who were not familiar with shopping apps, acquiring food online was difficult. Residents trapped inside protested against the limited food supply on WeChat groups and social media, while government drones ensured that everyone protesting the lockdown from their balconies was swiftly subdued. On May 1st, 2022, Claudia received a call from her mother urging her to leave and pursue a master's degree in a new country where she could start fresh. Initially interested in studying abroad, Claudia's anxiety grew during the lockdown, leading to depression. The sight of officials in protective gear kicking doors and the feeling of exhaustion from the situation further drained her. Claudia said, "It took me 10 days to decide whether to leave. I loved Shanghai deeply, but reality hit me hard. I had to leave." Perhaps the 3-year Zero COVID campaign in China, marked by frequent lockdowns, mass nucleic acid testing, and extensive quarantines, became the final straw for many. Studying abroad represents a pivotal turning point in one's life, not merely a pursuit of knowledge and academia, but also a shaping of one's lifestyle and worldview. Today, an increasing number of women are choosing to study abroad, seeking to redefine their lives.
Recently, Huawei's issuance of 1 billion yuan bonds has attracted significant attention. At the same time, several Huawei phone models have experienced a market downturn. On July 18th, Huawei Investment and Holding Company announced the completion of the issuance of a 10-year bond, 24 Huawei MTN001, with a coupon rate of 2.48%. The total issuance amounted to 1 billion yuan with a term of 10 years. It is reported that the compliant subscription amount reached 5 billion yuan, over 5 times the initial offering. Previously, Huawei issued 3 ultra-short-term financing bonds on February 29th, March 25th, and April 25th, totaling 9 billion yuan. Huawei stated that the funds from this medium-term note issuance will be used to supplement the operating capital of the company and its subsidiaries. It is also to support various business developments and the implementation of key strategies. In response, some commentators said this suggests a company has cash flow issues. These bonds carry risk and are not a windfall. However, we need to analyze why there is a cash flow shortage. Other comments included, everyone is short on cash, get ready for a default, what will happen in 10 years, and Huawei is trash. Data shows that since 2022, Huawei's direct financing channels have gradually shifted from overseas to domestic, with domestic direct debt now exceeding foreign debt. Reviewing Huawei's bond issuance records reveal that since 2019, Huawei has repeatedly issued bonds, including both super short-term and medium long-term notes. Previously, on July 19, 2022, Huawei disclosed its fourth medium-term note subscription prospectus, planning to raise 4 billion yuan to supplement the operating capital of the company and its subsidiaries. On March 1, 2021, Huawei also planned to issue its second medium-term note on 4 billion yuan with a 3-year term, scheduled for issuance on March 3-4 the same year. On March 29, Huawei's 2023 annual report indicated that since the establishment of the Huawei Intelligent Automotive Solutions BU in 2019, cumulative R&D investment exceeded 30 billion yuan, with the R&D team growing to 7,000 people. In 2023, the sales revenue of Huawei's Intelligent Automotive Solutions business was 4.7 billion yuan. However, the smart car business has consistently been a loss-making segment for Huawei. On March 16th, at the China Electric Vehicle 100 Forum 2024, Huawei's Executive Director, CEO of Consumer BG and Chairman of the Intelligent Automotive Solutions BU, Yu Chendong, stated that in recent years, Huawei's car BU has been losing 10 billion yuan annually. This loss was later reduced to 8 billion, and last year it lost 6 billion yuan. At the end of 2022, Yu also lamented that smart cars were a money-losing project within Huawei, burning through 21.7 billion yuan in 3 years. Huawei's 2023 half-year financial report showed that the car BU's revenue was 1 billion yuan, marking it as a loss-making segment. Some pointed out that the 2023 revenue of Huawei's Intelligent Automotive Solution business at 4.7 billion yuan accounted for less than 1% of Huawei's total revenue, a very low proportion. Currently, Huawei's annual gross profit cannot cover its operating costs. Not only that, the Huawei phone market has recently experienced a significant downturn.
Prices of Huawei's high-end phones are also dropping significantly. The P70 series has dropped nearly 1,000 yuan, and the Mate 60 Pro series is several hundred yuan cheaper than on the official website. Huawei phones have dropped in price. The flagship new products in the Kirin series have dropped by up to 1,000 yuan.
Furthermore, Freedom Technology Xiaoyuan, a second-hand phone dealer and blogger, stated on July 14th that Huawei's market has recently crashed. The Huawei Mate 60 Pro has been a sharp decline. He mentioned that he has received many Huawei Mate 60 Pro units recently. The market price for this model has dropped by 1,000 to 2,000 yuan in just over a month. This model was highly sought after at the end of last year, with people even paying a premium. Now it seems like nobody wants it. He noted that the current buyback price for a Huawei Mate 60 Pro is around 4,000 to 5,000 yuan, down from around 6,000 yuan previously, nearly a 2,000 yuan drop. Additionally, the prices of all other Huawei brands have been declining over the past month or two. According to reports from Chinese media, many Huawei phone models are being discounted, and the speed of price reductions is relatively fast. For example, the Huawei Nova 12 Ultra, released just 6 months ago, is initially priced at 4,699 yuan, has been reduced to around 3,888 yuan, a drop of over 800 yuan. According to Voice of America, Huawei has faced US sanctions for several years due to its close ties with the Chinese government and military, severely impacting the company's performance. Chinese economics affairs expert and professor at University of South Carolina Aiken School of Business, Xie Tian, told Voice of America that although Huawei has not been slaughtered by the US government, it is barely surviving. He emphasized that Huawei's current position is due to support from the Chinese government. Professor Xie said Huawei won't die because it has the support of the Chinese government and military.
Indonesia to engage in a tariff war with China. Highest tariff rate reaches 200%. On June 28th, Indonesian Trade Minister Zulkifli Hasan announced that Indonesia will impose safeguard tariffs of 100% to 200% on imported products ranging from footwear to ceramics, reinitiating plans to protect domestic industries. This policy will take effect immediately once the relevant regulations are issued. The Indonesian government seems to be issuing a warning to Chinese goods. Zulkifli Hasan further stated, "The United States can impose a 200% tariff on imported ceramics or clothes. We can do it as well to ensure our micro, small, and medium enterprises and industries will survive and thrive." Hassan explained that due to the trade war, Chinese products have been shut out by Western countries and are now flooding the Indonesian market. As a result, Indonesia has become a gathering place for many Chinese goods. The Indonesian government is also drafting new regulations to address previous ones that were not stringent enough. The newly announced tariff policy will take effect after the relevant regulations are issued, impacting products such as shoes, clothing, cosmetics, and ceramics. It appears that Indonesia is gradually restricting the import of Chinese goods. Indonesian Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati stated that the additional import tax, BMAD, is designed to protect the textile and textile products industry from the impact of imported goods. As Southeast Asia's largest economy, Indonesia's move has alarmed Chinese enterprises. An operator of an international sports, shoe, and apparel brand in China noted that Indonesia, as a populous country, is in a stage of rapid economic development. Both Indonesia and Vietnam have become destinations for global shoe manufacturers to establish supply bases after moving out of China in recent years. Let's look at the data. In May of this year, 36.3% of Indonesia's imports came from China. It seems Indonesia may take some measures against this main supplier. It appears that Indonesia is taking a more proactive stance in the economic field. They have strengthened economic cooperation with other countries, actively participated in ASEAN affairs, and bolstered relations with the United States. Indonesia seems to be adopting a firmer stance in its relations with China. However, it remains to be seen how this tariff war will eventually unfold. In recent years, Indonesia has implemented several measures in the economic and export sectors, indicating an increased awareness of countering China. Analysts believe that, firstly, Indonesia has begun actively promoting economic cooperation and trade with other countries and regions to reduce its reliance on China. For instance, they have strengthened trade relations with Asian countries such as India, Japan, and South Korea, as well as economic cooperation with Europe and the United States. According to a report by Voice of America, Indonesian President-elect Prabowo Subianto expressed in April during a Tokyo meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida that Indonesia and Japan are long-term friends with a cooperative relationship, and he hopes to further strengthen the relationship. Kishida stated that Japan hopes to contribute to the development of Indonesia's infrastructure, energy, and other sectors while strengthening security and defense cooperation. In 2023, Japan agreed to provide patrol vessels to Indonesia. After the meeting, Kihara told reporters that Japan and Indonesia are expanding joint exercises, capacity building, and education programs in the Indo-Pacific region. He said he is determined to strengthen cooperation between the two maritime nations to achieve a free and open Indo-Pacific region based on the rule of law. In December last year, Indonesian Foreign Prime Minister Retno Marsudi stated that Indonesia and Japan had agreed to remove more trade barriers. Previously, the two countries concluded negotiations on improving the bilateral economic agreement protocol. The U.S. is one of the most important partners for Indonesia, and we agreed to elevate our partnership into comprehensive strategic partnership. But most importantly, we have to give a real meaning to it. For Indonesia, economic cooperation is priority, including on supply chains issues.
Recently, China's drinking water market has become highly competitive. Nongfu Spring has initiated a price war with extremely low prices, reducing the cost in some channels to about 0.74 yuan per bottle. Competitors Hanzhou Wahaha Group, China Resources Beverage, and Master Kong have also had to follow suit, intensifying the market competition. According to Chinese media reports, with the extensive market coverage of Nongfu Spring's purified water, various promotions have sprung up both online and offline, even pushing the price of mainstream bottled water below 1 yuan per bottle. In Nongfu Spring's Douyin live streaming room, they offer a promotion where each pack costs 990 yuan or 1980 yuan for 2 packs, equivalent to about 0.83 yuan per bottle. This promotion is nationwide and includes free shipping. People have noticed that Nongfu Spring's newly launched green bottled purified water offers the biggest discounts among major bottled water brands in several large chain supermarkets in Beijing's Chaoyang district. In a Wumart supermarket in Chaoyang district, a 12-pack of Nongfu Spring green bottle purified water sells for 8.9 yuan, roughly 0.74 yuan per bottle. In comparison, a 12-pack of Nongfu Spring red bottle natural water and China Resources Beverage purified water each sells for 10.9 yuan, and the 12-pack of Ganten sells for 11.99 yuan. Other supermarkets show similar trends. In many supermarkets and convenience stores in Changsha, brands like Nongfu Spring, Hanzhou Wahaha Group, and China Resources Beverage are running promotions, with the price per bottle as low as 0.8 yuan. Online, the discounts continue without pause. On Yonghui Supermarket's online app, after applying discount coupons, Nongfu Spring green bottle purified water is priced as low as 792 yuan per pack, or 0.66 yuan per bottle. Nongfu Spring's product information shows that the regular price for a pack of 24 bottles, 550 milliliters each, is 48 yuan, which is about 2 yuan per bottle. During the promotion, it's equivalent to a 59% discount. Consumers can also have their purchases delivered to their homes through Nongfu Spring's home delivery service at over 1,000 stores across China, with no additional charges for higher floors or lack of elevators. As Nongfu Spring reduces prices for its purified water, other brands like Hanzhou Wahaha Group and China Resources Beverage are also forced to lower prices to maintain market share. Reflecting on this round of price wars in the drinking water market, industry insiders believe it was Nongfu Spring's launch of purified water at prices below 1 yuan that triggered today's intense price competition. Some industry experts point out that summer is the peak sales season for bottled drinking water and the best time for brand promotions. However, a price war involves more than just lowering prices. It encompasses supply chain operational costs, brand influence, product quality, and other factors. Chinese food industry analyst Zhu Danpeng stated that Nongfu Spring's introduction of low-price purified water products this year has turned into a disruptor in the purified water market. Renowned strategic positioning expert and founder of Fujian Huasu brand positioning consulting, Zhang Junhao, commented that price cuts are not a long-term strategy and may lead to market chaos and damage to brand image. Analysts believe that in the context of China's ongoing economic downturn, market competition is extremely fierce, especially in many industries where product homogeneity is severe and consumers are highly price sensitive. Therefore, lowering prices to attract customers is a common competitive strategy for companies. Moreover, Chinese consumers are generally very price sensitive. They compare the prices and performance of different products and tend to choose those with higher cost effectiveness. To gain a competitive advantage in the market, companies often lower prices to attract more consumers.